What I'm going to tie for you now is what I've named a cheat Czech Nymph. It's named that quite simply because I think this fly achieves everything that you would achieve in a Czech Nymph, but a lot quicker. And by achieving it a lot quicker, it means you can fill your box a lot quicker and spend more time on the riverbank rather than at the vise. Never a bad thing if you ask me. So, the reason why it's a cheats Czech Nymph is because, quite simply, it does away with a lot of the formalities of the main Czech Nymph. So actually it probably takes a lot of the tying ability away, which helps me no end. But yeah, again, but it achieves the same thing from a fishing and a profile perspective, so the fish don't care, so why should we, I guess. In the vise, I've got a partridge, grub and buzzer. That's the K4AY. I think there's also the K5AY, which is slightly stronger and a thicker wire profile hook, but actually this one's perfect. Usually tie these in probably 10 to 14s. It's a great way to imitate the Casus caddis, but also in different colours you can actually do the shrimp or scuds as well. I'm going to basically do like a Casus caddis version. I'm using Olive Vivus 12.0, incredibly strong for its diameter, hence why I'm using 12.0. Probably if you're using other threads you probably need to go to 8.0 or something similar. This is really strong for its size. So I was going to start by getting the thread bedded towards the bend of the hook. Just a few turns just to get it attached on there. Then I'm going to attach some of this stuff, which is basically like hen's body glass. It's not hollow, so it's a solid fibre or solid material. It's really stretchy. Comes in a couple of different diameters, which is great. So if you change the size of the hook, go smaller or bigger, you can actually just vary the diameter to this accordingly. It does come in different colors, but I tend to just use the clear one because you then just vary the color of the body, and then that color essentially comes through this this material because it's clear, obviously. So what we're going to do is going to attach this round on the bend, just down here, and leave a good tag end of the material, and as you've attached it, now start stretching the material as you attach the base, and then take it back up and up the shank up here. That's perfect. Now, because we left that tag end, that's all you need to do is stretch and cut. And that pulls that material slightly back into the tying thread and enables you to get a bit more of a streamlined body. Okay, easy so far, right? What we're going to do now is we're going to take some flat lead, so flat lead wire, and where you cut that clear tubing, we're actually going to start winding the lead to butt onto the end of that. So there's gonna, where one ends, the other one starts, just like so, and just take that up in touching turns. If you wanted to, you can take, so when you've done that, just there, I'm just gonna just cut that with your nail, just trim it with your nail. And then this bottom section here, just the same thing. I'm just going to pull it slightly in and then cut it with my nail. So there you go. So we've got a nice streamlined lead body there. We're just going to take the thread over this now just to give us a good tying base. We're not going to build the profile up though. We want a pretty streamlined body with all this. So we're going to be careful. It's going to be covering so the material doesn't fall through the gaps in the lead, but not actually building bulk into the fly. Nearly there. Doesn't matter if a bit of lead or the colour of the lead shines through. Okay, that's perfect. So you can see, so what you can do if you're tying shrimps, for example, and you wanted a bit more of a bulbous section in the middle here, you can actually do another layer of lead if you wanted to. But actually for what we're doing here with the, let's say like a caseless caddis, I'm actually quite happy with just leaving that as is. So what we're going to start off with now, I'm just going to use some natural fur blend. Actually you can use pretty much anything. This is in olive. You can vary the colors again accordingly, and it will shine through the body glass. You want to dub it thinly, okay, so as thin as you can. And actually, sorry, little point here, I leave, see this little section down here of thread, I actually leave that without any body material. That's to aid your profile as we work through the fly. So leave that section and actually start by tying probably about 2 mil up, more or less, where there's a bit of a gap between where the lead starts and where we cut that body glass after tying it in. So dub it really thinly and quite tightly. You want a tight rope, okay? So just do a bit of a rope of this material, and then just start winding that up the body. Up to that thorax section, just a touch more. Okay, that's perfect. So you can leave those straggly ends if you want to, or just pinch them out, doesn't really matter. Again, this section, you'll see in a minute, this section doesn't actually come through. So what we do next is we want the thorax to be really buggy. So I've actually got some hair dubbing, some really leggy, buggy dubbing. You don't have to dub this as thickly or as tightly. We're actually just going to bunch this as well. It's actually going to be quite a messy dubbing. You'll see why in a minute, and that's fine. It looks like a bit of a mess at the moment, but that's okay. Let me just take a bit of it out. Okay, so what we do now, we take the body glass and we stretch it really tightly, and we're going to bring it up in touching turns. Bring it over that dubbing. You see, by not doing a couple of turns to begin with, oh sorry, not dubbing right from the bend, it actually gives us a nice neat profile at the back end. Just keep stretching and keep doing it up in touching turns until you come to the intersection between your light and dark material. Now your thorax, what I usually do then is rib this through the thorax. Probably 2 turns or 3 turns is more than enough. So once, twice, and then bring it over to the eye. What we're going to do then is just finish it off. So, and because we're stretching this, make sure you bed this in really well, because when you let go, the last thing you want is all of that to be undone. So that's perfect. What you do then is this section will just get cut off. So just cut that off and pull it tight, really tight, and then snip. And that pulls back in, it gives you a really neat finish. And that's the fly done. So what we do is now just tie over a bit of that butt end, just tidy up that head slightly, like so, whip finish, and we're done. So last step, dub out the thorax, which we have essentially ribbed through. So just dub it out, really tease all of that out, There are your legs and your thorax section. You can just pull them underneath, cut any straggly sections. I tend to cut the sections on top, just to leave the feet, legs protruding below. And that's the fly done. You can see just a cheats Czech Nymph. You can see how quickly and easy that was. No worrying about is the diameter of the shell back thick enough, how good's my ribbing, tight dubbing, everything you need to worry about a normal Czech Nymph. What you can do just to finish the finish the back off with just the thorax section, you can actually just darken that off slightly as per the natural. But that's it. That's the fly done. So all that's left now is quick varnish, UV resin on the head, and head off to the river and catch some fish, hopefully. There you go, Cheats Czech Nymph. Vary the colours. You can see, you can do some versions for shrimps, just some or the purpley ones. Same process, but very, very quick and very, very easy. I hope they bring you some luck.